Good evening, everyone. Just a 1 hour chart here. This video might be a little bit short as it is late. Uh, I noted at the the end of January, January 31st, that we had a tight range during January, less than 300 points. A more typical range would be about 400 or so. And so far in February, we are flirting with, I think, about a 100-ish point range, 250 point range, 234. Now, to get over that 300 mark, we would be looking more towards the lower 3900s, if not the 3800s. So to me, overall, this is looking like a temporary pause before lower prices. Now, what makes me think that we would even have this larger monthly range? Well, generally, what you would look for is some sort of contraction of volatility and then the subsequent expansion of it. So again, if we had a tight range in January, you'd look for the expansion of that range the next month in February. So what I'm looking for is that sell-off to lower prices overall. Now, what am I looking at so far in the week? Tomorrow we do have PCE pre-market, new homes, University of Michigan sentiment at 10 o'clock. I I mentioned that below this 40-30 area, what I was looking for was a tag of 39.68. It's really this zone from about 63 to 74. I think I came one tick shy. So to me, shorts have hit their major target. That their first major target on a weekly time frame. The next one down below will be that 39, 18, 15, whatever, this sort of area between 12 and 28. This number that I'm talking about, this zone here. Now, to me, what today looked like was I'd mentioned that we had trapped a lot of shorts on that January 25th session, that Wednesday session, and you can see that we were unable to move lower. And to me, it looked like we trapped some new shorts and then ramped up cleaning the structure. Notably, at the start of the session, we were unable to get a gap and go scenario or even a gap close and go scenario. And instead, we just churned at that 40-30 number from the prior auction on Tuesday and sold off. Let's look at that on a bit of a lower time frame here. Over here, we can get rid of pretty much everything. There we go. Tuesday session over here. This is a 5-minute chart. Now, again, what we had was a drop in auction and following another drop. And to me, when you get that, that's evident of a drop, buyers trying to step in and then getting trapped and then moving lower. 30.75 was an important level for me, but 33s was the auction, and that is why I was short at 33.5 for the move downwards. To the downside, I was looking to get long at 74. Once I saw 74 quarters hold, I thought that we were done our selling for the day. That was our major target area once again, that 60 to 75 area. And seeing 74s hold meant to me that we could clean up this crappy sell-off structure. And I took 86 as long, 86 quarter being my level, waited for that close above it, and took it long. Now, a similar idea with the drop auction, drop trapping longs. A rally auction rally would trap short, so I'm looking at 94-ish and 86 quarter-ish, where we had that key resistance for, I don't know, from about 11:45 to 12:45, about an hour, repeatedly hitting it and unable to close above, and then eventually churning around it and getting a ramp. So another important note, just pulling up the profiles here, is that our RTH weekly point of control is sitting at 06 quarter. The weekly VWAP, I think that's what, no, this is the RTH VWAP over here. The weekly VWAP is sitting at, let me just pull this up. I believe it's 4011 right here. There you guys go. In other words, weekly VWAP and the weekly point of control are sitting at pretty much the same price. To me, that's just indicative of no one's buying on the cheap, no one's accumulating for a push higher, and no one is shorting up high for a move lower. To me, it just looks like a whole lot of nothingness, and arguably, it looks like a whole lot of just short covering around weekly VWAP for that push lower, as long as we're trading below this 40-30s. Even if we do get a ramp, as we are trading at relatively cheap prices compared to monthly VWAP, we're trading below standard deviation 1. We might be able to get a ramp into that gap close at 40.98 or monthly VWAP up at 41.06 if it doesn't sell down lower by the time we get up here. but we've not accumulated nearly enough to really get a sustainable push. So to me, uh, all rallies are to be faded until we get above the core distributive position around 41.25, if not 41.44 quarter, that weekly point of control from I think the prior week. So hopefully that gives some context how I'm looking at this. So far in the week, we've just been developing volume. You can see this giant block of volume here, right here. Let's get rid of the drawings. You can see we just have a block of volume, and for the most part, it's just been trading around weekly VWAP. Usually, if you want to see accumulation, you'd want to see it far away from weekly VWAP down here, or distribution far up high. But instead, we've just had this. You had some accumulation at the lows, but this volume is extremely insignificant relative to this point of control, relative to all the volume done up here. So to me, this is just a temporary pause in the distribution cycle. Sorry, getting back to this chart here and taking off the indicators. To me, we're going to come back down to this 39.15 position again. I'm looking for a range bigger than 300 points, so that supports a 3900 tag. That's where the position was partly developed, around 39.15, and we have not accumulated enough inventory, nearly enough inventory, to justify a ramp beyond monthly VWAP, or where the position is currently at 41.31-ish. So overall, this just looks like a temporary area of churn and temporary little bit of covering before we move down lower. And I'm especially biased to this as long as we're trading below this position here at 40.30-ish. This is just a trailing point of control that you're seeing, this blue line. As long as we're trading below that 40.30-ish number, 30.35, what have you, it's hard to see this as anything other than a temporary pause before lower prices. So that's how I'm overall looking at this. Now, 7 minutes already, shit. How am I looking to trade this? Well, I want to be short 18s, yesterday's close, right? Today's close, Thursday's close. I want to be short at the POC, 21 quarter, for a move into this weekly POC, 06-ish. Similarly, I want to be short this 30s area again around this auction, again at our key balance highs as it's becoming. And then I do want to be long 94s and 86s, where we have this area of trap shorts at 94s and around weekly value area low, and similarly at 86s. Kind of around settlement lows, kind of around 87% value area low in the day. And again, where we trapped a lot of shorts. That's how I'm looking at this. Down below, I'm not interested in getting long any around the 70s again. I'll be looking for a run of the January halfback at 61.75 and then taking this daily low long. Overall, I'm looking at this as quite a balanced week, just because this profile is so balanced. And the volume is dead set in the center, roughly. I do wonder where it is. Where's our halfback? Yeah, 40.15. I believe 40.15 quarter. I believe the halfback just came in, or the weekly volume point of control just shifted up there on the full Globex session. Yeah, 40.15 quarter. There you go. Volume point of control and halfback. Volume point of control, weekly VWAP, and weekly halfback, all within one tick of each other. It's a little bit too coincidental to me. So overall, this is looking for a balanced session, and I'm just going to be looking for mean reversion into this 15 area. And you know what? I'm actually going to delete this 18 and 21. I'm just going to be look to short somewhere in the 30s, be long somewhere in the 90s, 80s, and 60s. I want to just be playing reversion into this clump of volume, because right now this just looks like mindless churn to me. You've got all the volume is being done around at the halfback at weekly VWAP. It's useless to me. So anyway, that's how I'm looking at this. Those are the trades. I will still be looking to fade any pushes higher. I don't see any rallies as being sustained. I think the major distribution is done. Any rally is just a temporary to add additional shorts and look for low prices. Look for that 39.18 area for now. 18, 15, 12, whatever. Anyway, that's how I'm looking at this. 10-minute video for you guys. Trade safe if you're trading in the middle of the night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Any updates to this, posted pre-market to Twitter per usual. Good night.